Hi, it's Bev again with another video. And if you've watched all my videos, you know that what I talk about is why you should do what you know that you should do. I'm not going to tell you how to exercise, do bicep curls and then run over and do tricep extensions. No, I want to talk about your biochemical body. So today, I want to talk about your living biochemical body and how it is always affected by chemicals, and indeed by diet, exercise, stress, sleep. So if you make any poor choices in those areas, you are going to affect what we call your pH balance. And if you remember your old high school chemistry teacher, well, maybe you were asleep when it happened, but they were talking about basic and acidic balances. And numbers related to that, right? And that applies to your body as well. And maybe at the time in high school you didn't think that way. But now you're a bit older and you're thinking, I want to lose weight. And what does that have to do with my pH level? Okay, first of all, let's figure out what it is. pH levels is a measure of your potential hydrogen in your body, pH. And if you have a number, if you get your blood chemistry checked in the lab, you can get your pH checked as well. Actually, you can go to a health food store and you can buy little tabs. They're kind of like testing the pool water, but it's not a swimming pool one. It's one that you can actually put in your mouth. It's not exact, but you can check your pH level. Okay, you are acidic if it is below 7. If it's 7, you're neutral. If it's over 7, you're alkaline or basic. So you want to be basic. You have a little bit of acidity and a little bit of alkalinity in your body, and you need both. But you want to keep it a little more alkaline oriented than acidic oriented. So what we're talking about here is the number of hydrogen atoms present in your body. And so we're talking about electrical resistance, and we're actually talking about ions, positive and negative ions. So if you have negative ions, those are alkaline forming, and the positive ones are acid forming. And as I say, you need a balance, right? But you were talking about a net electrical charge in your body. We're talking about organized electrical reactions in your body. And indeed, when you're stronger, you're actually going to be vibrating more. Sounds weird, right? But that's what happens. So, what if you are chronically acidic? What happens in your body? And if you're watching this video, you want to build muscle, you want to lose fat, you want to get toned, jacked, ripped, whatever way you want to call it, right? So let's see what happens when you are chronically acidic. We'll talk about how that happens in a little bit. So you will have an inefficiency. Oh, let me fix this. I moved this. You will have an inefficiency in your insulin hormone. And insulin, as you know, deals with glucose, so you sure don't want that to happen. You're going to have much, much more difficulty losing weight. And it doesn't matter how much you exercise. If you're chronically acidic, you're going to have trouble losing weight, a lot more trouble. You're not going to be able to move as much oxygen to your hardworking muscles or your cells. And you're going to have a lot of acidic, toxic waste byproducts. Now, normally your body knows how to get rid of those, right? It can urinate them out, it can defecate them out, it can sweat them out. It's got all sorts of ways of getting rid of them. But if you're chronically acidic, that is, you're mostly acidic most of the time, your body actually has too many toxins to dump in the normal way. So it doesn't want any of this toxic waste near your healthy cells. So guess what it does? It stores it because it can't get rid of it. And where does it store it? in your fat cells. It's great, right? Just store it in the fat cells. But if you don't have enough fat cells, your body is your savior. And you know what? It's just going to make more fat cells, right? It does what it does because it's your savior. So if you're going to be highly acidic, your body's got an answer. It's just going to make fat. Okay, it will also steal calcium from your bones. And so when you start, fiddling with the mineral content of your bones, you can have a lot more fractures, especially as you get older, right? But it takes the calcium because calcium is going to be kind of a shield against that toxic waste, against that acidity that it doesn't want near anything healthy. And also, you're going to be a little more susceptible to illness because viruses and indeed bacteria love to eat acidic waste. Now for me, I keep my body slightly alkaline, right? So I'm like, I don't know, maybe 7.1, 7.2. It doesn't have to be very high. But I very seldom get sick. I could be near somebody coughing and hacking away, and they're like, oh, I'm going to give you my cold. I'm like, no, don't worry about it. I never get sick. You want to be more basic than acidic, okay? So what we're talking about is you want to eat, for example, alkaline forming foods. So they're acid binding. And you don't want to eat acid forming foods that are alkaline binding. So you want to, I could list tons of examples and you can Google them. But for example, you don't want to be in this area, acid forming. So some examples are artificial sweeteners, MSG. You may think MSG doesn't exist, but just like high fructose syrup, the food industry just relabels it and it calls it, this is interesting, hydrolyzed plant protein. Or how about this? Hydrolyzed, vegetable protein. So you look at that and you think, cool, that's good for me. No, it's MSG, just with another name. And I mentioned high fructose corn syrup. That's acid forming. Hydrogenated oils, acid forming. All processed foods are, because they've got all that that high fructose corn syrup and all those, what else? Hydrogenated oils, preservatives, those are acid forming. All sugary foods. I'm sorry to say, alcohol, tobacco, and if you don't get enough sleep, or if you have high stress, chronic high stress, you're going to be acidic. Okay, so you're going to have all these issues, and this is the second one, is the one you're worried about, right? Now, alkaline forming foods, garlic, and funnily enough, honey is alkaline forming. Even though sugar is acid forming, honey is actually alkaline forming. And when you think about it, most of the sugar you eat is artificially created or highly refined. And honey, real honey, no, it's kind of a natural thing. And there are vegetables that are more alkaline forming. Sauerkraut, bell peppers, asparagus, I could go on forever. Not all of them are alkaline forming. Some are acid forming. Similarly with fruit. Alkaline forming fruits include apples, bananas, strawberries, but there are some fruits on the other side. You can Google this. I'm not going to make a big list. What's another thing? Sesame seeds are alkaline forming. Lemons and limes are alkaline forming. So if you add lime to your beer, yay. Or if you put lemon in your water, excellent. And it's funny, because you think of lemons and limes as being acidic, but they're actually alkaline forming in your body. And sesame seeds. Anyway, as I say, you could go on forever, but let me say that drinking water, pure water, is really helpful for your electrolyte balances. And of course, that's going to help your acid-alkaline pH balance. So I'd say at least 8 cups of water a day. So That's all I want to say about pH. I mean, I could go on for hours about pH, and there's a lot of information in my book on it. Of course, the book isn't out yet. But anyway, I'll see you in the next video, and be safe. Bye.